Good day. Welcome to Just Another Messenger, your daily decode of the digital, the political, and the prophetic. I'm your host, Tamara L. Powered by AI, grounded in truth, and fueled by rebellion, we sift through noise to bring you what they won't say out loud. If you're ready to unplug from the matrix and plug into the message, let's begin. It was hailed as big, beautiful, and historic. But behind the fireworks, the talking points, and the name-brand bragging rights, Donald Trump's big beautiful tax bill, officially known as the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, wasn't written for the average American. It was written for the boardrooms, not the break rooms. And today, we unpack how a tax revolution became a corporate love letter, and what it really cost you. Flashback to 2017. Donald Trump, flanked by Republican lawmakers, stepped to the podium with a promise. A tax code rewrite that would bring jobs back to America, boost paychecks, and let the forgotten men and women finally breathe. But what he was introducing wasn't a grassroots stimulus. It was a 500-page blueprint crafted with help from corporate lobbyists, conservative think tanks, and billionaire-backed PACs. Key players included the Heritage Foundation, who prepped the ideological roadmap, ALEC, American Legislative Exchange Council, feeding policy lines to GOP lawmakers. Multinational corporations like Pfizer, AT&T, and Apple, lobbying to repatriate offshore profits at low tax rates. Fun fact. The bill passed the Senate at 1:36 a.m. on a Saturday, with handwritten edits in the margins, barely readable by anyone voting on it. The headlines were scripted like a blockbuster. A middle-class miracle. $4,000 raise for American workers. Jobs, jobs, jobs. But peel back the PR and the promises, and what will the bill actually do? Corporate tax rate slashed from 35% to 21%, permanently. Individual tax cuts? Temporary, expiring by end of 2025. Pass-through deductions benefited wealthy business owners, including Trump himself. Estate tax exemption doubled, shielding generational wealth. And for average Americans? A complex restructuring of brackets that offers short-term sugar highs, but set up a future tax hike booby trap. The rich got richer. The top 1% receives 83% of the bill's benefits by 2027, according to the Congressional Budget Office. CEOs use savings to buy back stock, not raise wages. In fact, stock buybacks exceeded $1 trillion the year after the bill passed. Everyday Americans? Wage growth remains stagnant for most workers. Gig workers and freelancers face new tax complications. Many middle-class households lost key deductions, like state and local tax, SALT, write-offs, hitting residents in blue states hard. Trump's promise, I don't benefit. Reality. Leaked documents revealed that real estate developers like him made out exceptionally well under Section 199A, a provision that created massive loopholes for property investors. The deficit bomb. The bill will add over $2.7 trillion to the national debt. Republicans will begin using the deficit to argue for cuts to Medicare, Social Security, and food stamps. Healthcare cuts. The bill repealed the individual mandate, destabilizing ACA markets and raising premiums for many. Public services squeezed. As federal revenue plummeted, funding for education, infrastructure, and housing programs faced the chopping block. Translation: tax cuts for billionaires now, austerity for the rest later. Now enter Project 2025, a Heritage Foundation-backed blueprint for a second Trump term. The tax bill was just phase 1. Project 2025 aims to permanently lock in corporate tax cuts, gut federal regulatory agencies, and remake the government to serve private interests, fast-tracking privatization and reducing congressional oversight. With the Chevron doctrine revoked as of June 2024, a Republican White House could erase even more public protections under the guise of economic freedom. The big beautiful tax bill was never just about taxes. It was a Trojan horse, wrapped in patriotism, stuffed with loopholes. While you'll got a check that feels a little bigger for a year or two, billionaires gets a system rigged for life. This isn't reform. It's a transfer of wealth, of power, of opportunity. If we don't learn from the past, we will pay for it in the future. Subscribe to Just Another Messenger for truth that won't be taxed. Support the channel via Cash App, $JustAnotherMessenger.